What is up, my beautiful mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, and in today's video, seeing as it's early autumn here in Australia, I'm going to be doing the top 5 cheap men's autumn fragrances. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into the video.
Die Verbrennung der
Before I talk about the fragrances though, I will be mentioning my fragrance of the day, and that is John Varvatos, or some people like to call it John Varvatos Heritage. This actually has the notes listed on the back. Maybe you can pick that up on camera. It's embossed. John Varvatos, the fragrance elements: tamarind, tree leaves, sage flower. So that's where you get the herbs from. Mediterranean herbs, that too. Aura amber, vanilla, and black leather essence. I definitely do not get vanilla. I have never gotten vanilla out of this, but I do get some of those fruity sweet qualities. I do get a lot of an aromatic herbal quality as well, and then the leather is very prominent in this one. It's literally one of the sexiest fragrances that I've ever smelled in my life. It is one of the most underrated fragrances that I've ever smelled, and I'm gonna have to get another bottle of this one. You can pick this one up at Chemist Warehouse and Priceline, but I would recommend getting it from catch.com.au because you can find a bottle of it for $29 Australian, and at that price it is an essential and should be in every man's collection, at least those of you who are in Australia. Another thing is I'm doing a giveaway for Replay Signature EDP for women, and I'm also throwing in this Replay Signature Red Dragon aftershave balm for men. To enter the giveaway, you've got to be in Australia. I will be doing international giveaways eventually, guys, so stay tuned for that one. But yeah, to enter this, you've got to be in Australia. Drop a comment below saying you're entering the giveaway. Go follow the Aussie Marcel Instagram page, and I'm pretty sure that's all the criteria that you need. Just be in Australia, follow the Aussie Marcel Instagram page, be subscribed to the channel, and yeah, drop a comment below saying you want to enter the giveaway. Give it to your wife, give it to your sister, give it to your best mate, doesn't matter. So, without further ado, let's get into the top 5 autumn fragrances. Starting things off, we'll be going from cheapest to most expensive. Le Mani Pour Homme. This can be found pretty regularly for $9 Australian from pharmacies, from Chemist Warehouse. You can get it online super cheap as well. I remember saying this was a clone of Dracar Noir once, and some bloke absolutely reamed me for it. But I think that's pretty unfounded, because if you put this side by side with Dracar Noir, it smells awfully close to Dracar Noir. And being that Dracar Noir is one of the best fragrances, men's fragrances of all time, I don't think there's any shame in that. Bottle design isn't impressive, but my god, this is an attractive, ultra masculine fragrance. You've got some aromatics here, you've got a little bit of lavender as well, so that's what really makes it so similar to Dracar Noir. It's the aromatics, it's the lavender, it's that oak moss vibe, and I would say this is more earthy than Dracar Noir. So if you want to spend less money than Dracar Noir, but you also want a slightly more earthy Dracar Noir version, Le Mani Pour Homme has you covered. For $9 Australian, this is basically an essential. I'm gonna have to, gotta spray it, guys, gotta spray it. It is so good. It is actually ridiculous how good this is for $9. I will say that if you're under the age of 25, Le Mani Pour Homme is probably not going to be for you unless you are a fan of old school 1980s fragrances, or alternatively, if you are looking to get into those fragrances. Being that it's $9, it's a great entry point into those sorts of scents. But if your favorite fragrances are like Invictus, 1 Million, Dior Sauvage, maybe this is not going to be for you. But for $9, you can do a lot worse. Next up, I've seen this as low as 15 and as high as 40. We've got David Beckham's Beyond Forever. Now, to many people, this actually smells quite a bit like Dior's Fahrenheit, and that's one of my favorite scents of all time. It's the violet, there's woody violet quality to it. It's very unique. It does smell reminiscent of Fahrenheit. I don't think it smells exactly like Fahrenheit. It smells a little cheaper than Fahrenheit. It's not as strong as Fahrenheit. It lacks a lot of that leathery floral goodness that's inside of Fahrenheit, but I mean, for the price that you're paying, this is easily one of the better David Beckham fragrances. It's an eau de toilette, but it performs for about 6 hours plus, which as far as Beckham scents go, that is an eternal beast mode performance. And it's just unique. By virtue of the fact that it smells like Fahrenheit, it's a unique smelling fragrance. So if you're after something that has a prominent violet note, that's woody, touch of leather, that's going to be amazing in the autumn weather, Beckham Beyond Forever has got you covered. Especially at the $20-$25 mark, you can do a lot worse. Next up, at about $35 for 200 ml of the scent, we've got Calvin Klein B. Now this is a unisex fragrance, and as the weather cools down a little bit, my recommendations for CK1 decrease and my recommendations for CKB increase. This is similar to CK1, but it's more woody, floral, and it's a little musky as well. You can also share this with your partner because it is a unisex scent. It smells incredible. It's got a prominent rose note. It's green, it's fresh. It makes for an amazing after workout, after gym, after shower scent. There's just something about the combination of the woods in this with the florals and that slight musky sweetness. It's one of the most versatile scents on the market, all seasons, all occasions, and in terms of just pure value and compliments, $35 Australian for 200 ml. You'll never use it all, but you're going to get bulk compliments for this one. And you're going to be able to share this with your partner as well, because most women I know actually love the way this one smells. So definitely check this one out. Calvin Klein are underrated. People crap on them because of the performance, but CKB, it lasts like 7 hours with about 4 sprays, and when you've got 200 ml of a scent, you can like go through your sprays and you're not going to really go through the bottle, you know what I mean? Next up, at about $40 Australian in today's market, we've got Boss Orange Man by Hugo Boss. This is a vanilla fragrance with a touch of citrus and then a touch of incense as well. But the incense doesn't really come into the scent until it's starting to dry down. It's one of the most delicate incense scents on the market. Incense scents, try saying that 3 times fast. Bottle design is cool. But yeah, this one is very mass appealing. If you're under the age of 25, this is probably going to be the fragrance to get because it's the most common. If you're under the age of 25, this would probably be the fragrance I would recommend of all of them, purely because the vanilla in this is so prominent. It's got this youthful sweetness to it, and that's the reason why a young bloke that's looking into getting into nicer fragrances, trying to deviate away from Invictus or 1 Million, go for Hugo Boss Man Orange, because it's cheaper than those 2 fragrances I just mentioned, and it's also, in my opinion, a much better smelling fragrance. 3 sprays of this is going to get you about 8 hours of performance, so performance is solid as well. Honestly, it's amazing for compliments, it's good value, it's pretty readily available. I mean, I've even seen bottles of this sell on eBay for $30, and at that price, grab it, it's a steal. And last but not least, we've got a 2-for-1, because for $50 Australian, you can get Club de Nuit Intense for Men. But if you don't want an Invictus clone, I would recommend Mont Blanc Emblem Absolute, which is fruity, woody, sweet. So, as it gets even colder, Mont Blanc Emblem Absolute is going to be a little better, but in pretty much any situation, as far as versatility goes, Club de Nuit Intense Man is the way to go, just because it's a clone of Creed's Aventus. People love the way Aventus smells, but it's a little passé right now, it's a little overplayed. So if you're after originality, Mont Blanc Emblem Absolute, they're similar prices. Sometimes I'll see this upwards of about $70, but if you go on eBay, there's a good chance you'll be able to find a bottle for about $40 to $50, maybe $60, but yeah. Club de Nuit Intense Man, you can get this for like $45 to $50 at Chemist Warehouse. Both of these are good for different reasons. They both perform fantastically. I mean, Club de Nuit Intense Man performs even better than Creed's Aventus. The only problem is with that synthetic lemon opening, it can be very harsh to some people and they just despise it. But in the dry down, it's much more closer to Aventus and it's, you know, quite attractive. Mont Blanc Emblem Absolute has a very prominent wood note, and then it's got this like fruity, fruit salad kind of sweetness to it. This is going to be amazing for a young person, like somebody under the age of 25 is going to love the way this one smells, just because it's so reminiscent of, you know, some of Paco Rabanne's scents. I would recommend this over the regular Mont Blanc Emblem as well, which smells closer to 1 million, just with that like prominent sweet cinnamon note. But yeah, whether or not you're choosing Mont Blanc Emblem Absolute or Club de Nuit Intense Femme, they're both really solid options for the autumn time, for the fall if you're American, and I'd recommend them. So that's all the fragrances I'm featuring today. If you've ever worn any of them before, let me know in the comments below. You know I love hearing from you guys. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.